But let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Are you all on drugs?
I've come across many patients that suffer the ravages of drug use, and I think that the current policies that we have in place right now are failing miserably.
Now, if you want to stop the violence in Juarez, then really there's only one thing that can be done, and it's going to take a division or two of U.S. Army troops and tanks and people on the ground.
As Thomas Paine, great U.S. patriot, philosopher, and author said, these are the times that try men's souls.
Resolution actually started with the Border Relations Committee, and they invited me to one of their meetings, and they were really perplexed regarding the violence on the other side of the border in Ciudad Juarez. At that point, there were approximately 1,600 assassinations related to the drug cartels. So I said, why don't you draft a resolution for us explaining to us exactly what you would like to see happening, not only from the city of El Paso, but from the federal governments in Mexico and in the United States.
As good as that resolution was, it came to us last Tuesday, or a week ago Tuesday. It didn't have anything that significantly changed, in our opinion, the status quo that's led to this unprecedented brutality and terrorism on the border. And so we asked that one other policy consideration be taken, and that is having an open and honest debate on the ending of prohibition of illegal drugs.
People knew that we were going to be talking about stopping guns from going there, stopping chemicals from going there. They had no idea that we were going to discuss the lifting the prohibition of narcotics. So I vetoed that action because I thought, number one, it violated the Open Meetings Act for us to have taken that action because we didn't have the public comment. But number two, that we've been trying for 3 years to get the federal government to have a debate on revamping our immigration laws to no avail. So to think that we're going to start a debate on national drug policy, I think is ridiculous. It's not, number one, it's not going to happen. Number two, it ruins your credibility.
The resolution, I'm definitely against it. I believe that legalizing narcotics will bring a lot of bad, trying to think of the word, bad business, I want to say, into the area, especially with all the drug wars that are going on in Mexico right now and all that. I think legalization will bring a lot of that over here.
I don't pretend to think that talking about legalizing or regulating or ending the prohibition on some or more narcotics is an easy issue. I don't know what all the ramifications of that are. I don't know what the unintended consequences could be, but it's at least owed an airing and a debate and a dialogue, which is something that's been absent from our drug policy for 40 years. And so we've been somewhat successful in getting that moved along, even though it's no longer officially city policy. People are talking about it, certainly in El Paso, and we're starting to see a lot of interest from around the country in this issue precisely because of what we're seeing on our southern border.
The war on drugs is about 40 years old, and clearly it hasn't worked. Over the last 40 years, I think drugs have only been more widely used and abused. They're readily available to anybody that wants them, and they are increasingly cheaper and purer. And in spite of all the tens of billions of dollars that are spent in the war on drugs, we've had practically very few results.